You're watching ERi-TV, dear viewers. Welcome to our news broadcast. First, the headlines. Activity assessment meeting of National Union of Eritrean Women Swiss branch. Popular campaign brings in harvests belonging to disadvantaged families in Gashbarka and southern regions. State of emergency declared in Sudan Central Darfur after gunmen fire on mediators. EU food prices rises twice as fast as inflation. In our domestic news, the Swiss branch of the National Union of Eritrean Women conducted an activity assessment meeting on 5 November. Speaking at the event, Mr. Hastewalde, chairwoman of the union branch, indicated that in the past 2 years, the union branch, despite the challenges it has been facing due to restrictions to curb the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic, has been able to implement major programs. Mr. Haas said that one of the major programs the union branch implemented includes the inauguration of the training center in Tessene subzone that was constructed at a cost of 33 million nakfa. At the meeting, in which 44 members from 19 branches took part, extensive discussions were conducted on the reports presented. The participants also expressed readiness to strengthen participation in the national development drives and cooperation with other national associations. Mr. Amanuel Zacharias, representative of the Eritrean Embassy and permanent representative of Eritrea at the United Nations, indicated the active participation of Eritrean women in the national affairs and called for strengthening organizational capacity and encouraged young women to join the union branch. The meeting also charted out development programs for 2023. Popular campaigns in Shambuko, Gashbarka, and Sana'a southern region is bringing in harvest belonging to disadvantaged families and residents, defending the nation's sovereignty. Mr. Berkhat Mahari, head of economic development in Shambuko subzone, indicated that farmlands belonging to 1,200 families in 15 administrative districts of the subzone have so far been harvested by the popular campaign. Similar campaigns have been undertaken in all administrative areas of Sana'a subzone, southern region, that included residents, students, and government employees. The participants said that the campaign gave them psychological satisfaction, having known their efforts have gone to supporting disadvantaged families, and further pledged to continue the support until all the harvest belonging to the families is in. The Ministry of Labour and Social Welfare branch in the Northern Red Sea region organized a seminar to members of community-based rehabilitation and development committees from 17 administrative areas in Ginda subzone. The seminar focused on connotation and concept of community-based rehabilitation and development programs, as well as on creating conducive ground to identify and support disabled and elderly citizens in cooperation with partners. Speaking at the occasion, Mr. Umar Yahya, administrator of the subzone, said that identifying disadvantaged citizens and providing the necessary support is one of the national tasks, and called on administrators at all levels to strengthen participation in the effort. Mr. Ismail Osman, representative of the Ministry of Labour and Social Welfare in the Northern Red Sea region, on his part, called for strong participation of every citizen in the effort to support disabled and disadvantaged citizens. In related news, the Ministry of Labour and Social Welfare in Ginda subzone organized seminars in the administrative areas of Tsarat, Hutzit, and Dongolo, focusing on abolishing harmful traditional practices. Those are domestic news. Please stay tuned for the international right after the short break. Sudan's Central Darfur state has declared a state of emergency after gunmen opened fire on mediators tasked with settling an intercommunal dispute, killing 24 people. After an emergency meeting of the State Security Committee on Sunday night, Central Darfur Governor Saad Adam Abakbikar issued an order declaring a state of emergency in all parts of Central Darfur for a period of 1 month. The decision came after gunmen attacked a reconciliation committee sent to mediate a dispute between the rival Wadi Salah and Bandasi communities. According to locals, the mediators were accused of favoring one side, sparking anger from the other side. The governor said the attack in Wad al-Mahi locality killed at least 24 people and left 41 others wounded. In the order, Babikar stressed the need to preserve the security of the state and the safety of citizens. It banned all forms of gatherings in the two localities. Last week, the governor of Blue Nile State, Ahmed Ali Obda Badi, issued an emergency order also banning all public gatherings, events, and unlicensed activities. Badi acted after communal clashes that killed more than 200 people. The order prohibits blocking public roads, encroaching on public and private property, and circulating content that calls for discrimination among citizens on an ethnic basis, among other activities. Intercommunal conflicts have been on the rise in Sudan since the military coup in October of 2021. The cost of food across the EU has jumped over the past year, almost double the rate of inflation in the 27-member bloc, according to figures released recently by the EU Statistics Office. These figures are the highest for food price inflation since 1996, when Europeans started collecting data. The price tags on food have been rising above the rate of inflation since mid-2006, but has skyrocketed this year. In a communications published, the European Commission warned that the era of low food prices, which lasted for decades, is now over. Now a recap of tonight's headlines. Activity assessment meeting of the National Union of Eritrean Women branch in Swiss. Popular campaign brings in harvest belonging to disadvantaged families in Kashbarka and southern regions. State of emergency declared in Sudan Central Darfur after gunmen fire on mediators. EU food prices rise twice as fast as inflation. And that was our news. It is good night from us.